Hey, honest question.
Already? We just started.
When you are speaking English right now, are you translating from your own language inside your head first?
Actually, yes, sometimes. Like, I think of what I want to say in my language, and then I quickly translate it into English.
And does that ever slow you down?
All the time. Sometimes I'm in the middle of a sentence and I just freeze, because the translation is taking too long.
And what if I told you that is not actually how your brain is supposed to learn a language?
Wait, it is not?
Not at all. And today, we're going to talk about what is actually happening inside your brain when you learn English. And once you understand it, everything about how you study and practice is going to change.
Okay, now I'm very curious and slightly worried about how much time I have wasted.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Mia.
And I'm Simon, and today we're going inside the brain, the English learning brain specifically.
This episode is for every single person who has ever felt stuck with English, who's studied for years but still does not feel confident, who knows grammar perfectly but freezes when they have to actually speak.
Which is basically every English learner ever.
Basically everyone. And hey, if you're new here, welcome. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell right now. New episodes every single week.
Simple English, real topics every week. You're gonna love it here. Okay, Mia, let's go inside the brain.
Let's go. Part 1.
Simon, can I ask you something?
You always ask me something, but yes, go ahead.
How did you learn your first language, your mother tongue?
I just learned it as a baby. I do not even remember learning it. It just happened.
Exactly. Nobody sat you down with a grammar book. Nobody taught you the rules of your language before you started speaking it. You just heard it constantly, every single day. And slowly, without even trying, it went in.
Like it just absorbed into my brain naturally.
Naturally. And now you speak your first language without thinking, without translating, without remembering grammar rules. It just comes out automatically.
Because it became part of how my brain works.
It became wired into your brain. And here's the fascinating thing. Your brain can do the exact same thing with English. It has the same ability, the same capacity, the same potential.
So, why does English feel so much harder than our first language?
Because of how we try to learn it. We go to school, we open a grammar book, we memorize rules, we translate sentences, we study vocabulary lists, and our brain tries to process English as a subject like history or math, instead of as a language.
As information to memorize, not as something to actually use.
Exactly, and the brain learns information very differently from how it learns language. Information you can memorize and repeat, but language, real language, has to be acquired, not memorized.
Acquired. What is the difference?
Memorizing is when you force something into your brain through repetition and effort. Acquired is when your brain absorbs something naturally through exposure and use, without you even consciously trying.
Like how I learned my first language as a baby.
Exactly like that. And a linguist, a scientist who studies language named Stephen Krashen, studied this for years, and he found something really important.
What did he find?
He found that humans acquire language in only one way, through input, through hearing and reading language that you mostly understand in large amounts over time.
So, listening and reading, not memorizing grammar rules.
Listening and reading real English, lots of it, regularly. That is how the brain actually builds a language inside itself.
So, that is the opposite of how most schools teach English.
Almost completely opposite. And that gap between how schools teach English and how the brain actually learns it, that gap is why so many people study English for years and still do not feel confident.
They have been doing the wrong thing, not because they are not smart, but because nobody told them how their brain actually works.
Nobody told them, and that's exactly what this episode is about, understanding your brain so you can finally work with it instead of against it.
Work with it instead of against it. I really like that.
And in the next part, we talk about what actually happens inside your brain every time you hear or read English.
Like what is physically happening in there?
What is physically happening in there? It's actually really fascinating.
Okay, I'm hooked. Stay with us, everyone.
Simon, right now, while I am talking, what do you think is happening inside your brain?
Honestly, I have no idea. It just processes what you say somehow.
And it happens so fast, you do not even notice it.
Completely automatic. Like I do not consciously think, okay, she said this word, it means this thing. Now I understand the sentence.
It just arrives as meaning, instantly. And that automatic instant understanding is the goal of English learning, to get English to work the same way in your brain.
But right now, for most learners, it does not work like that.
Not yet. So let me explain what is actually happening in your brain when you hear or read English, and I promise it is going to make so much sense.
Okay, brain science, let's go.
So your brain has something called neural pathways. Think of them like roads inside your brain. Every time you do something repeatedly, think a thought, feel a feeling, use a word, your brain builds a road for that thing.
Like a path that gets worn into the ground from walking the same route every day.
Exactly. At first, the path is thin and weak, hard to follow, slow, but every time you walk it again, it gets a little wider, a little stronger, a little faster.
So the more I use something, the stronger the pathway becomes.
Until eventually, the pathway becomes a highway, fast, automatic, effortless. And that's exactly what happens with language in your brain.
So every English word I know has its own pathway in my brain.
Every word, every phrase, every grammar pattern. Every time you hear or use them, those pathways get stronger. And when a pathway is strong enough, understanding becomes automatic, instant, effortless.
Like how I understand my first language.
Exactly like that. Your first language pathways are incredibly strong, built over a whole lifetime of use. And your English pathways, right now, are still being built.
Still under construction.
Still under construction. And here's the really important part. These pathways are only built through one thing:
What thing?
encountering the language, hearing it, reading it, using it. Every single time you encounter an English word or phrase, that pathway gets a little stronger, a little faster, a little more automatic.
So every time I listen to an English podcast,
You are literally building roads in your brain. Every word you hear that you understand strengthens a pathway. Every new word you hear in context starts building a new one.
so listening to this podcast right now is actually doing something physical to my brain.
Physical and permanent. And here's something really encouraging. Your brain never stops building these pathways, at any age, at any level. Every time you engage with English, something is being built.
So there is no such thing as, I'm too old to learn English, or I've been trying too long, or my brain just can't do it.
Never. Your brain is always capable of building new pathways. Always. The question is just, are you giving it enough of the right input to build them?
The right input, which is real English, lots of it, regularly.
Real English in large amounts over time. And here's the thing that most people get wrong about this.
What do they get wrong?
They think that studying grammar rules builds these pathways, but it doesn't. Grammar rules are stored in a completely different part of your brain, the conscious memory part, and that part is slow. It can't work fast enough for real conversation.
Which is why knowing grammar rules doesn't automatically make you fluent.
You can know every grammar rule perfectly and still freeze completely when someone speaks to you fast, because the pathways are not built from rules. They're built from real experience with the language.
So stop studying about English and start actually using English.
Start actually living in English as much as possible. And in our next part, we talk about exactly why so many people get stuck, even after years of studying.
Because I feel like this explains so much about my own English journey.
It explains almost everything. Simon, tell me something honestly.
Honestly, always honestly with you, Mia.
How many years have you been learning English?
A long time, like many years, since school, basically.
And in those years, how much of that time was spent actually using English, speaking it, listening to it, reading things you enjoyed in English?
Honestly, not much. Most of it was studying, grammar exercises, vocabulary tests, translating sentences.
And how much of that do you remember now?
Almost none of it. Like, I could not tell you a single grammar rule I memorized in school, but I can have this conversation right now
And why can you have this conversation?
because I actually started using English, watching things in English, listening to English, talking to people in English.
Not studying it, using it. And that is exactly why so many people feel stuck. They have spent years studying English, but very little time actually using it, and the brain cannot build strong pathways from studying alone.
It needs real experience, real encounters with the language.
Real encounters. And there is something else that keeps people stuck, something that almost nobody talks about.
What's that?
So, your first language is incredibly comfortable, fast, effortless. When you speak it, you sound intelligent, funny, articulate. You can express exactly what you mean. People understand you perfectly.
And then you switch to English, and suddenly...
You sound like a completely different person. Slower, simpler. Sometimes you cannot find the right word. Sometimes you make mistakes. And that feeling of being less capable in English than you are in your own language is really uncomfortable.
So people avoid English to avoid that uncomfortable feeling.
They switch back to their language the moment things get difficult, and that feels better immediately. But it means the English pathways never get strong enough to feel comfortable.
Because you keep running away from the discomfort before it has time to become comfort.
Exactly. And here's the truth about language learning that nobody wants to hear. The uncomfortable feeling of not being fluent yet, that feeling is not a sign that something is wrong. That feeling is the feeling of your brain building pathways.
The discomfort is the progress.
The discomfort is the progress. When you feel confused by something in English, your brain is working. When you struggle to find a word, your brain is searching and building. When you make a mistake, your brain is adjusting and correcting.
So the struggle is not the enemy, the struggle is the process.
The struggle is the whole process. And the people who get fluent, they are not the people who found English easy. They're the people who stayed in the discomfort long enough for it to become comfort.
They just did not run away from the uncomfortable feeling.
They sat with it. They kept going. And slowly, week by week, month by month, English started feeling a little less foreign, a little more natural, a little more like something that belonged to them.
And there's one more reason people get stuck, right?
Yes, and this one is really important. Fear of making mistakes.
Oh, the big one.
The biggest one. Because school taught us that mistakes are bad. Mistakes mean failure. Mistakes are embarrassing. So we wait until we are sure we will say something correctly before we say anything at all.
And while we're waiting to be perfect,
We're saying nothing, using nothing, building nothing, and the pathways stay weak.
but babies don't wait to be perfect before they speak.
Babies say everything wrong for years, and nobody judges them. Everybody encourages them, and slowly, through all those mistakes, they become fluent.
We need to think like babies again.
We keep coming back to this. Think like a baby, make mistakes, keep going, and your brain will do the rest.
Okay, so we know why people get stuck.
Now we talk about what actually works, what your brain actually needs to become fluent in English, and it might surprise you.
I have a feeling it's simpler than I think.
So much simpler.
Simon, if I told you that the secret to learning English was something you already enjoy doing every day, would you believe me?
Honestly, no, because learning English always felt like hard work to me.
And what if the reason it felt like hard work was because you were doing it wrong?
Okay, now I am listening very carefully.
So, we talked about how the brain builds pathways through real encounters with English, through input, through hearing and reading real English in large amounts over time. So, the number one thing your brain needs is
More input.
massive amounts of input. And here is the key word that makes all the difference: comprehensible.
Comprehensible, meaning English you can understand.
English you can mostly understand. Not perfectly, not every single word, but enough to follow what is happening, enough to get the meaning.
So watching an English show you actually love
Is more powerful for your English than doing grammar exercises you find boring, because your brain is relaxed, engaged, and receiving massive amounts of real, natural English.
So enjoying English content is not lazy. It's actually the most effective thing you can do.
The most effective thing. And here's a list of things that give your brain exactly what it needs. Watching English shows you enjoy, listening to English podcasts on topics you find interesting, reading English books or articles about things you actually care about.
Things you would do anyway, just in English.
Just in English, and the amount matters too. It can't be 10 minutes a week. Your brain needs consistent daily exposure, even 30 minutes a day. Every single day is so much more powerful than 3 hours once a week.
Because consistency builds pathways faster than intensity.
Consistency is everything. A little bit every day beats a lot once in a while. Every time, because your brain needs regular reinforcement to strengthen those pathways, regular reminders that yes, English exists, English matters, English is part of your life.
So make English part of your daily life, not something you do occasionally when you feel like studying.
Surround yourself with English. Make it the water you swim in every day. And slowly, without even realizing it, it starts to feel more natural, more automatic, more like something that belongs inside you.
And in the last part, we talk about how to actually make that happen, practically, in real life.
Practically, simply, starting today.
Can't wait. Let's finish strong.
Simon, last part. And I want to make this super practical, because everything we have talked about today, the pathways, the input, the acquisition, it all means nothing if you do not actually do something with it.
Real actions, real changes, starting today.
Starting today. So, first thing, and this is the most important shift of everything.
What is it?
Stop studying English. Start living in English.
Living in it, not just studying it.
Because studying is something you do for 1 hour and then stop. But living in English means making English part of your actual everyday life.
Change your phone language to English. Watch your favorite shows in English. Listen to English podcasts while you walk or cook or clean. So English is not a separate activity, it is just part of everything.
Part of everything. And here is the beautiful thing. You do not need extra time for this. You are already watching shows, already listening to things, already using your phone. Just do all of it in English.
Replace the time you were already spending with English input.
Exactly. No extra effort, just a different language. Second thing,
Go ahead.
listen first, speak later.
Oh, this is different from what most people say. Everyone says, just speak, just practice speaking.
And speaking practice is important, but not at the beginning. Because if you try to speak before you have enough input, you have nothing to draw from. Your pathways are not strong enough yet, and you feel stuck and frustrated.
But if you listen a lot first,
The words and phrases naturally build up inside you, and then when you do speak, they start coming out, almost on their own, because they are already in there, already wired in.
like filling a cup before pouring from it.
You cannot pour from an empty cup. Fill it first with massive listening input, and the speaking will follow naturally.
Okay, third thing,
Find English content you genuinely love.
not content that is educational, content that is actually enjoyable.
Because remember, a relaxed, engaged brain acquires language fastest. So find one English podcast, one English show, one English YouTube channel that you actually look forward to, that you choose because you enjoy it, not because it is good for your English.
And the English improvement comes as a bonus.
As a completely automatic bonus,
You are enjoying yourself, and meanwhile, your brain is quietly building pathways in the background, working without you even asking it to.
Like this podcast, actually.
Exactly like this podcast. Fourth thing,
What is number 4?
make peace with not understanding everything.
Oh, the uncomfortable one.
So important, because most learners stop when they hit something they don't understand. They rewind, they look things up, they worry that they're missing something important. But actually, letting go and continuing, even when you don't understand every word, is one of the most powerful things you can do.
Because the brain fills in gaps naturally.
It fills in gaps, it picks up context, it makes connections. And over time, things that confused you completely start making sense. Not because you studied them, but because you encountered them enough times for the pathway to build itself.
Trust the process.
Trust the process. And last thing, number 5,
Final one. Make it count.
be patient with your brain.
Patient. That's hard for people.
So hard, because we want results immediately. We want to feel fluent after 1 month, and when we don't, we think something is wrong with us. We think we're bad at languages. We give up.
But the brain doesn't work on our timeline.
The brain works on its own timeline, and language acquisition takes time, real time, months, sometimes years. Not because you're slow, but because that's simply how long it takes to build thousands of strong pathways in a new language.
But every single day, even when you can't see it, something is being built.
Every single day, quietly, invisibly. And then one day, you understand something in English without translating, or a phrase comes out of your mouth naturally without thinking, and you realize, oh, it's working. It's been working all along.
You just had to trust it long enough to see it.
Trust it, stay consistent, and enjoy the journey, because learning English is not just about the destination of being fluent. It's about every conversation, every show, every podcast, every moment where English gives you access to something new.
A new idea, a new person, a new world.
A whole new world that your brain is quietly unlocking for you, one pathway at a time.
I genuinely love this episode. I feel like I understand my own brain better now.
That was exactly the goal. Okay, homework. Just one thing. Are you ready?
One thing. Always one thing. Go ahead.
Today, find one piece of English content that you actually enjoy. Not something educational, something fun. A show, a podcast, a YouTube video, anything. And spend 30 minutes with it. Just enjoy it. Let the English wash over you. And trust that your brain is doing its job.
30 minutes of enjoyable English. That's the homework.
That's it. Simple, enjoyable, and actually the most effective thing you can do for your English today.
And hey everyone, drop a comment below. Tell us, what's your favorite way to practice English? What English content do you love? We genuinely want to know.
We read every single comment. And if this episode helped you understand your brain better, please share it with someone who's learning English and feeling stuck. It might change everything for them.
Just send them the link. 5 seconds could completely change their English journey.
Please like this video if it helped you. It helps so many more people find us. And if you're not subscribed yet,
Come on. We make episodes like this every single week. Hit that subscribe button right now. You don't want to miss what's coming next.
all right, everyone, that's a wrap on today's episode. Thank you so much for being here and for learning with us. It truly means everything.
Take care of yourselves, everyone.
Keep listening, keep learning, and remember,
Your brain is always learning. Give it English every day and watch what happens.
bye, everyone.